Did you know that being Group B strep positive doesn't automatically put your baby at risk? In this video, we'll talk about what Group B strep is and what are the options that you can utilize going in with your pregnancy. Hi, I'm Stephanie, aka the Healthy Practitioner, board-certified family nurse practitioner, helping hundreds of women balance their hormones and lead an empowered, healthy life, especially through pregnancy and postpartum periods. Today, let's dive in. There's a lot of fear-based messages related to Group B strep, GBS, and many women feel pressured into taking antibiotics without fully understanding their options. I want you to feel empowered in your choices and your decision-making process. So let's talk about Group B strep. What is it? Group B strep is a naturally occurring bacterium that lives inside of the vagina and gut. This is harbored in most all of women, and it's a naturally occurring bacterium. We're basically just sacks of microbes. We're made up of trillions of microbes, bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, yeast, candida. Like all of these things make us who we are. And typically it's not a concern unless our immune system is struggling and we're not able to stay in homeostasis. Colonization of GBS does not equal infection. And I think that's very important and a confusing part. When you hear that you have GBS, you automatically think you have an infection. That's not truth. Sometimes women, again, we're all made up of all these microbes. Sometimes you just test positive for it because it's in your system, but it's not causing any harm. Many babies are exposed to GBS without any issue. Many, and we'll talk about that. The real concern arises when routine medical interventions during birth disrupt the body's natural balance, increasing the risk for infection. So, medical professionals often use statistical framing, and I like to say that is fearing through statistics, to make antibiotics seem like the only option when someone has GBS. You're told that IV antibiotics reduce GBS by 80%. Holy cow! If it reduces by 80%, wouldn't we all do that? What they don't mention is the actual risk of having a GBS infection goes from 1% to 0.2%. Guys, so 1% of actual GBS infections actually turn into that. Whereas if you have antibiotics, it goes from 1% risk to 0.2%. Yeah, that's an 80% reduction, but that's like taking a crumb and splitting a crumb into hairs. Let's be real. And to me, that is, again, the statistical framing or fearing through statistics is a way that they do something to fearmonger you into interventions that you may not want. That's a small absolute risk reduction for huge potential impact on the baby's microbiome and your own. So who's actually at higher risk for GBS? If you test positive for GBS between weeks 35 to 37, if you've had previous baby with GBS infection, GBS bacteria found during pregnancy in the urine, water breaking more than 18 hours before delivery, going into labor before 37 weeks, and developing fever over 100.4 during labor. Low-risk women really don't need to even do universal screening. Now, that's something that is your choice and up to you, but I suggest you do research on GBS and see what feels comfortable to you. During my pregnancy, I didn't test for GBS. Not that it was something that I wasn't concerned with, but it was just something that I didn't feel in my body intuitively that it was something that I needed to do. You know, if I had the other symptoms that arose that I just talked about above, that maybe that was something that I would have just tested just to rule out, but it just wasn't on the radar at that time. So again, you can get tested knowing the above risks, but not all women need to be tested. And there's research with this, and I'll put that in the show notes. What are the risks of antibiotics during active labor? It disrupts the baby's microbiome, and disrupting the body's gut equates to increased asthma, allergies, eczema, and other immune risks. It increases the risk for antibiotic resistance, and it may contribute to something like yeast overgrowth, thrush, and digestive issues in the future. We know now the big risks of antibiotics and overprescription of antibiotics in babies, especially in newborn infants. When their immune systems are just developing, they come into this world and they're like just getting taken from every direction. Here, get this shot. Get this antibiotic eye ointment, get this antibiotic infusion. There's just so many different ways that the babies are just, their immune system is just being taxed. And if they're coming into this world with any immune dysregulation, hello parents that may have any immune dysregulations, they have just an increased risk for immune system issues. The allergies that are rampant, the eczemas, that stuff just isn't normal. That's an immune system that cannot keep up with the system. And the immune system resides in the gut. So how can we protect the gut? So So natural ways for mom to reduce GBS colonization as a pregnant woman. Probiotics, lactobacillus strains help maintain a balanced vaginal microbiome. We have a great one at Select Balance. Garlic suppositories and coconut oil. Some studies suggest they may reduce colonization. I love doing vaginal suppositories for my pregnant women. Dietary adjustments, cutting out sugar, and processed foods can support a healthier microbiome, which equals less infections. So really, I know we get certain cravings in pregnancy, but truly working through getting a really healthy gut microbiome is one of the best things that you can do. Again, decreasing sugar, decreasing processed foods. And then there's some herbal rinses and washes. If you're working with a midwife, you can talk to them about that, but there are other options than just antibiotics. I will leave more alternative links that I found helpful during my pregnancy in the notes as well. Did you know that breastfeeding is one of the greatest natural protectors for GBS? Breastfeeding protects against GBS-related infections by providing antibodies. The breast milk is magic. It can equalize to the baby's risks. If the baby has any infections, the mom's milk produces antibodies specifically for that baby. It's amazing. Our bodies are amazing. Babies who are breastfed are shown to have stronger immune systems to fight infections naturally. So with all of this, I just want you to know that you have a choice. Understanding the risks, but also benefits of natural prevention. Make informed, empowered decisions that align with your body and safety of you and your baby. Knowing that the statistics for GBS are actually a lot lower than you might have thought prior to watching this video, make the informed decisions that are best for you. Again, I will link the notes down below in this video so that you can go through and read the studies, alternative options, but I just want you and your baby to have the best outcomes from birth and beyond. So take care and see you back on the channel soon.